Hey everyone, so my name is Will, and this is my submission for drawing my life on a whiteboard with shitty markers, as you can tell. Whatever. I grew up in the panhandle of Florida, just a few miles south of Tallahassee, and for you to understand where I grew up there for 20 years, you have to divide Florida into three parts. The upper third is known as southern Georgia because it's so country and rural. The middle part is New England, basically, and the lower part is Cuba. Growing up in a rural part, you can imagine how well I fit in. I didn't. I grew up in a family of four with my mom, my dad, my older brother, who is about 8 years older than I. My dad had a huge mustache. And then there was me. And when I compare myself to the rest of my family, I was kind of the black sheep of the group. Didn't have a country accent or anything, was kind of different from everyone. This was especially strange to my dad, who didn't really understand why one of his sons would love playing Zelda or playing Pokemon or reading Harry Potter so much when you could go and fish or hunt, but I was not about that life. Part of the reason I was so obsessed with Harry Potter, Pokemon, and Zelda was because it was the only thing that was getting me through elementary school at the time, and elementary school was hell for me. By far the worst part of elementary school was everything that took place on the bus. That's where all of the terrible bullying took place. In fact, kids would sometimes throw paper balls at me, which was okay, but then they would spit on me sometimes, which was annoying. And I even had some rocks thrown at me a couple of times. And a lot of the kids on my bus at the time smoked, and they set my hair on fire a couple of times, which was annoying. And all of this bullying, of course, led to me getting PTSD, which I'm still dealing with today. Yay, the effects of bullying. Middle school, however, was just awkward. Between 6th and 7th grade, I grew 6 inches over the course of 3 months, and the growing pains were awful during that time. And in middle school is when I really started to pay attention to boys, especially boys online, aka porn, which, of course, my parents caught me. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, little gay boy. But then high school started, and high school was awesome. I had such a great time in high school. And a couple of milestones that I had while I was in high school. I came out when I was 14 years old. That's freshman year. And I started driving, of course, when I was 16. Graduated, obviously, when I was 18 years old. But the best part was the amount of friends that I made. All these friends I had grown up with my entire life. And I managed to make like the coolest bunch of friends. And they got me through everything, basically. Especially, it was fun in the cafeteria because we sat at one table, all of my friends and I. But then everyone else that went to my school were obsessed with camouflage and like browning jackets. And at the cafeteria, they would always wear them, and we were always like, oh, well, this is nice though, because it feels like we're in a park, because there's so much foliage around us. Soon thereafter, I started FSU, which was in Tallahassee, so it was right there, and I did a mathematics and statistics double major. And then I also picked up my first boyfriend, and his name was Gabe. And this was about the time when I really started to get into YouTube. I had a laptop that I used for school, and I saw a couple of my friends posting videos on Facebook, and I said, hey, I feel like I can do that too, and I used a really shitty webcam for my first couple of videos, but most of those videos are deleted because they're all dumb, so they had to go. And I learned a lot whenever I was dating Gabe about being in a relationship, but after 22 months of us being together, we broke up. We're still friends though, and that's what's really cool about it. I think during the summer of my sophomore year is when I started having weird headaches, and I'm not really that skinny, I don't know why I drew my neck that skinny. I went to go have an MRI and they found my brain aneurysm, and that was kind of a big deal because aneurysms are kind of scary. Fast forward 6 months and I had another scare when my right lung decided to collapse, and that was awful, and then it did it again a year after that. So the doctors decided that I needed emergency surgery, and they admitted me into the hospital, and I stayed there for a week. And they opened up my chest and glued my lung to the chest cavity wall, and I was there for 2 weeks. And I was supposed to have 2 more weeks of bed rest, but a week after my surgery, there was a lot of family drama and family tension that was going on, and I decided that I didn't need to be a part of it anymore. So I packed my life into my car, and I quickly moved in with my grandmother. You guys have seen her in a couple of the videos before. But my grandmother lived in a kind of a small house, and I stayed there for as long as I could, but there just simply wasn't enough room for me. So I packed my life into my car again and made my way to my brother's house. My brother had a separate house at this time, and I moved in with him, and that was pretty cool for about 6 months. Until even more family drama happened, if you can even believe it. My dad at the time wanted me to apply for a job at his work, and he came across my resume by accident and saw that I was a part of the LGBT Student Resource Center on campus and Pride Student Union. He was wondering why I was a part of these groups and asked my mom, and my mom, who knew I was gay at the time, told me to just come out to him. And we kind of left my dad in the dark about it because we knew he would react poorly, but we didn't expect him to react as bad as he did, and it was a bad circumstance. And that was kind of the final straw for my parents' marriage. After that, they got a divorce, and it was a pretty sad situation. But then luckily, who should walk into my life but RJ? And I was in a pretty dark place, and whenever I met him, he kind of, I don't know, he gave me reason to be happy again, and that was all I really want. I'm drawing him with curly hair right now because he had curly hair when I met him. But yeah, I owe a lot of my happiness to him because he showed up at the right time. I couldn't really live with my brother anymore because there was just way too much tension in my family to get along with. So RJ invited me to live with him. So again, I packed up my life into my red Ford Focus and moved in with RJ. We had a really strange relationship at the beginning. We didn't really know what to call ourselves, but I was finally happy, so I didn't think about it too much. And I needed to worry about my degree anyway. I managed to get my diploma, got my bachelor's in mathematics and statistics, and I was really close to not graduating, so that was really cool. And I decided to continue with the master's program at FSU, and I ended up getting my master's degree in biostatistics. Yay! Which kind of brings us to where we are today. Number one, I still live in Tallahassee. I'm probably going to live here for another couple of months. I've been with RJ for 3.5 years, and this has been the best 3.5 years of my life. I teach at FSU as my job, and we are looking to move to Los Angeles pretty soon. And I think the most important part is that I'm finally super happy after all the shit that's happened to me. And I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure to like, share, and all that crap. And I will talk to you peeps later. Bye.